everyone out there. Welcome to another episode of Way Back Wednesday Gaming. A few minutes late start, had some last minute technical difficulties, which is always fun. Yeah, not really. First you have to excuse me, my allergies have been killing me out of nowhere today, so you'll have to pardon the coughing and sneezing and everything else that comes along with that. Like that. Anyway, we're gonna look at some more Amiga titles tonight. I got 3 or 4 lined up. Some fun things. What's up, Doom Ranger? Some these aren't necessarily great games, but they're still games I know and played because as a kid you'll play anything really. Plus, a lot of these, as with a lot of games I had on the computer, on the Amiga, were cracked and had infinite life or whatever. Because after trying this other one, I don't know how one would actually play it without an infinite life cheat. And you'll see what I mean once I load it up. So the first game we're going to look at, and I keep forgetting it takes a bit for these to load. I'm just gonna leave it at no, so you'll see what I'm talking about. But maybe I'll go back and change it after one playthrough. Because I tried playing it, I got hit once, and then I couldn't complete the first level. I'm not even sure I would have been able to complete the first level without getting hit. But I also have a fun little, so I'll probably show it next. There's a fun little port of a Nintendo game that was on the Amiga, and I want to show that off because I played it on my show, the Nintendo version. So I kind of wanted to play the Amiga version after I found it, and I was like, oh my god, this is so terrible. People need to see it. Bug Bash. Apparently you're a flying ladybug, helicopter helmet wearing ladybug. Your garden that you live in has been destroyed. There are bad, evil insects everywhere and trash everywhere. So yeah, you gotta do all sorts of fun things. So yeah, Bug Bash. Look out for bugs. The sun is talking to you. That's how you would do it then. So yeah, you go around, you pick up trash, and you put it in the trash can. Also, that's how you beat it, is you have to shoot that magic mushroom over and over. I didn't realize that until just then when I read the start screen. Granted, you're still timed, but yeah. It's kind of the whole idea, is you have to play through cleaning up trash after killing bugs that are trying to kill you. Because bugs kill each other. Staying in the air is difficult. Like, if you let go of the controls, you fall. So, like, just charging up this, which that's how you get your energy back. Which, I don't know why that's a mechanic. Like, you could just take away the whole, you already have a timer. So you could just take a whole the way, slowly losing energy just by moving. And you'll be fine. you know? Just have a health power up or something. It's like, you know, why have 2 timers? Apparently that's all that's this way. At least the music isn't terrible. So yeah, you're a ladybug armed with insecticide, flying around trying to clean up a garden that I guess you live in. You know, because bugs are, you know, insects are such litter bugs. They always throw their trash everywhere, don't they? Those damn insects. And yeah, apparently that one's dead, so you can't even do that shroom. Oh yeah, there's bosses too. I'm not gonna beat this. So yeah, that's Bug Bash, and now the game's over because I died. So yeah, you know, the whole, like, I don't know why your energy is always draining when there's a timer. Now, as a kid, of course, I turned on the cheats and I just played and whatnot, but every level's essentially the same. It just it just keeps adding like more stuff or whatnot, or little different bosses. But yeah, this was weird when I remembered as a kid. But we're gonna move on since I did a little better than I thought because I missed the magic mushroom bit. But so now I'm gonna show that port I was talking about. Because I saw this and was like, oh, I wonder what this is like. I was just kind of like, oh my god, this is so terrible. I think this was it. Yeah. So yeah. Again, as with a lot of games on Amiga, they have cracked versions where you can cheat all to hell. I'm not gonna do that for right now, but this isn't one I had. Like, I mean, I had this game, but on the Nintendo. And like I said, I have played it on the show previous to this, but I saw this port and I was like, I just have to show it off because it actually looks a little bit better graphic-wise in some places, but overall the game is much, much worse. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And yes, that is the original. Yeah, this thing. Yeah, I figured this would be a fun little. Wait a minute. So, as with a lot of, you know, platforming Amiga games, there's only one button, which is attack. So to jump, you have to hit up. Yeah, the boss is much easier. Like, yeah, it's so terrible. So yeah, you had to jump to go through the door. Yeah, what? Enter will bring up your menu screen so you can change through all of them as normal. Yeah. It's just like, what the fuck is this shit? They don't quite have the amount of mini bosses that were normal. You know. You can just jump through the ladder, you know, through that. And you're like, oh, no, I'm just gonna jump up here. The ladder collision is really terrible. Also, as soon as you attack, you lose your upward momentum. And then if you're spinning, you can't attack in the air, so good luck with that. I actually did try the arcade game port that I have, and it locked, like, I had one screen of enemies, and then it just seemed to, like, soft lock. And I was just like, well, that happened. So yeah, I'm gonna switch to another turtle so I just don't die yet. Cause yeah, you got your nice little. That's one thing though, you can't cheese this boss. Like, they actually fixed that little screen bug where you can't do that. So yeah, just a mash fest, cause why not? You gotta see this picture of April though. Look at that face. She's a poltergeist. Just look at all that gloriousness. Yep. Oh, it's so bad. But, like, you know, some of the actual artwork is a little better in my opinion. Like this actually looks pretty damn nice, I think. You know, this is actually a solid drawn stuff. But yeah, overall it's just kind of like, what? But the music is somehow worse. Like, normally Amiga has good. What the hell? Was I standing on top of him or the ladder? Okay, it was the ladder. Yeah, I have no clue if there's an easy way to beat the bosses or not. Like, you have no range. You know, Donnie doesn't have his normal forward move. It's just a little weird swipe. Apparently you can stand on ladders. Stale, moldy baguette. That is a good question. That it does kind of look like that in a weird way. Get that lovely looped music. So yeah, apparently you can do this and actually not take tons of damage, but it's still like, you know, eventually you get cornered and it's like, well, I can't do anything. And yeah, you had to beat that guy. You can't go up the stairs till he's dead. This is one room, though, that's slightly better because you can just jump up here. Just fuck it all. And then we get the infamous dam level, which has the same music, so yeah, as the overworld. No sound effects. It's just kind of like, oh, hey, go swimming. Up here first. Oops. I think I might have missed one. Yeah, it's just like, what is this? Also, was it here? There's a skeleton in the wall. There's a skeleton there. It's a fucking Turtles game. Ow. It does seem like you don't take as much damage. And there's also a hell of a lot less of the damaging weeds and whatnot. Did I miss that? Was there one down there? I'm forgetting the path to this everywhere. Yeah, it's spiraling to load. I don't know if I need to set something up for it or not. I haven't messed with anything. Oh, net neutrality shit. Yeah, they were doing something today, I think. So I guess that's one thing this version has going. This is a hell of a lot easier. Granted, I'm almost out of time because I didn't know where to go, but that's just because I forgot. Yeah, look at that. I was at like half life when I started. And I'm still alive with a single turtle. So if you really want to beat that dam level, go play the Amiga version. And that April face, man. That's meme worthy. And then that same theme over and over again. Oh yeah, and then there's this. I can't seem to get into the van. Like, I don't know how to enter it. I don't know what button I need to press. It's not working. Like, space switches whatever weapons you might have. Enter brings up that screen. You know, I'm like, I can't go into the van, which you kind of need to do to beat this level. Yeah, this port was complete shit. Like, anyway, enough of that. I can't hear that theme anymore. I think I got at least 2 more games. Maybe a few more. We'll see how fast these go. First one is one I'm sure most people know about. And this is, you know, it was an arcade game. And I had an Amiga port. It got ported to Nintendo. It was also run at SGDQ recently, which was last week. Marble Madness! Now, this was the version I'm familiar with, is on the Amiga. Like, it's the one I played. It's awesome. It is a very awesome game. Amiga version by Larry Reed. I don't think there's any real differences between like this and the NES version or anything like that. Outside of just control scheme, because you know in this you can use the mouse to like a roll ball to mimic that of a roll ball, which is what the arcade had. Number of players, difficulty, input. Oh, yeah, you could use the joystick, couldn't you? Mouse. That's what you want, though. Yeah. Using the joystick on this would be difficult, I think. And then after this, I got another game that's kind of similar, inspired by this, I guess. Apparently my mouse isn't registered to work right. Well, I was gonna play this a little bit, but my mouse isn't seeming to register for moving the mouse. Or I chose the wrong input or something. Nothing's working, it's not moving. I mean, the game's running, obviously. But yeah, I'll just skip that. Like I said, it got ported elsewhere. I know there's plenty of videos out of it. Go watch the SGDQ run of it if you really want to see it. Because it's a decent game, it's fun, but without it working, I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time sitting here trying to figure out why. Now this next one, though, I played a ton of. And unfortunately, though, it doesn't have music during the main part of the game. It's just sound effects. But it's got a decent intro screen music, and it's kind of Marble Madness-esque. We will not do any cheats. And this one's called Spindazy Worlds. Geographical environmental reconnaissance and land mapping device, or Gerald. So you can do easy mode or hard mode. Hard mode is just more levels. So we'll do hard mode, because why not? So yeah, you got that music on that overworld, but after that, you have nothing. So yeah, it's kind of Marble Madness-esque. But it's a little more puzzler, because you have to like get all sorts of things. You have a lot more jumps and things to make. It's, to me, it's a little more difficult. Now one thing, I'm not really able to show it off at the moment because of the fact it's a race that I have to race the clock. But the control scheme is a bit much, and yeah, as you see, this is not looking easy. And I'm about to lose this world because I can't get to the end. Yeah. So yeah, we'll go to another world. Beginners, there we go. And God, this one's timed too. I want one that's not timed, because then I can kind of talk about the controls and how difficult this game can be. I like how this is beginners. It's like, this ain't beginners. No. I don't know if I actually need all the gems, but... So yeah, you can't even fall down too far. You have to take your time. Like, you can fall like one full tile up height. Otherwise, you die. And I'm not gonna make the time. Whoops! I hit a button when I wasn't trying to hit a button. Yeah, the the depth perception view it's pretty cool. Like, this is actually a pretty cool game. It's just difficult as hell. So, like, you have this level is a timer level, so of course you have to beat it before the time runs out. As you notice on the right and the left, there's fuel banks, basically. Which, every time you get destroyed, run into an enemy, things like that, it gives you problems. Yeah. Yeah. Falling off hurts. Oh, hey, I made it barely. And then you get bonus levels after most worlds. Which basically gives you extra fuel for future levels to fight on. You know, like you can refill your fuel type of deal. These you don't have to beat. In fact, a lot of them you might not because they're somewhat difficult if you're not really knowing where to go. Reserve fuel 3%. Yay. So yeah, you beat the world and it disappears, which opens up more worlds. Not ball race. Let's do Pyramidia. Alright, so this one's not timed. So, now I can explain a little more about Spin Dizzy Worlds. So it's kind of Marble Madness in the whole view and movement and whatnot. But it's a lot more puzzler. And technically this is still timed because your fuel slowly runs out, I believe. But yeah, you do all this where you have the puzzler. So you have to figure out all these different things. Like, one of these buttons activated another thing, so I have to get back over here. But then I can't press these buttons because it will deactivate it. Now I can get up here. And as you see, I'm falling everywhere. It's not exactly easy. Whoops. But yeah, one thing I wanted to mention about the controls. So this movement right here, that's left and right. Like, I'm hitting left, I'm hitting right. I'm not hitting up or down, it's left and right. So these two are up and down. So it's one of the, it warps your perspective, which makes it quite a bit harder to do things. One good thing though is, see, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do or where I'm supposed to go. I took away those ramps, which is not good. So yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to get over there. Reset everything. Now sometimes it'll pipe up with that little clue. It'll start flashing like a certain button. It'll be like, hey, this is how you get over here. But it doesn't always. So yeah, it's very much more puzzle-rific, Marble Madness. If you liked the controls of Marble Madness and whatnot, and then it's just like, oh hey, let's do more. Whoops, that was the wrong button again. Well, that kind of sucks to get stuck here. Let me die and get another world. Your game ends if your floor runs out. Game over. Abandoned world. Tri-path. Let's try that. Hopefully one with a little more. There we go. So yeah, it see right here it's saying clue and it's flashing the gems. So essentially you get all the collectibles and something's gonna happen there. Usually the exit. So I fell through this. Yeah, here's a fun little thing with enemies. Aliens, as they call them. They drain your fuel. One other thing, I'm stopping by hitting the spacebar, which through the magic of computers of using joy to key on my joystick, so on my gamepad. So I've mapped it to something on my controller, because trying to do a D-pad with a controller and a button on it, as well as having to do that. Yep, penguins are aliens. Okay. So yeah, that was trapping this bridge here if you didn't see, and I timed it so it trapped under it, and that's what you're supposed to do. Like I said, it's a much more puzzle game. That one seems to respawn every time you hit it, so don't hit it, because you know. Yeah, there's also the fire button, which makes you accelerate quicker. This is without fire button. That's movement speed. This is with fire button. So it is quite a bit more. Well, that's a terrible, unfortunate thing. And as you see, just a few small mistakes can end your game fairly quickly because I'm out of fuel and I'm about to die. There we go. So it's actually a pretty difficult game. You really have to take your time. I know I've beaten the easy a few times. I think I've beaten the hard mode once as a kid. Oh, this level. So yeah, this is where it really starts kind of saying like, hey, you need to learn how to do all this crazy shit that, you know, you might not even know is possible. Apparently I can't go there yet. But, you know, it's like all these jumps and whatnot. Because like to get over here is like, I know you can do it to get across some of these, but they're so difficult. You see, I can't go down there yet. I guess I gotta go this way. Yeah. And so yeah, you have all these warps to smaller individual levels, but yeah, here just look at this shit. Look at the level of shit you got to go through to get beyond this level. Yeah, it is incredibly difficult. Like they're like, you know what? Fuck people who want to play this game. We're gonna make sure they hate it. Or get incredibly good at it. making the jumps everywhere, and this is like, what? So now I gotta get over there. Yeah. So that takes me back there, which has, I think, has that one working. Oh look, there's a teleport down there now. So again, it's just very puzzle-rific Marble Madness. You know, if you thought Marble Madness needed to be harder, this game's for you. Getting up on the wall with the little tiny corner. Most levels you do have to collect pretty much all the gems. Apparently this might have been the last one I was supposed to go to. I don't know. There we go. Yeah, you gotta get creative with some of the ramp usage to get back on places and whatnot. Like, that's one thing I will say. Whoever designed this did have a clever... Like, they knew what was up with terms of what you could do in this world they created. Like, I'm trying to get up there. I'm thinking should be possible, but the timing of it is so difficult. There we go. See? Now, was that how you were supposed to do it? I'm not sure, but I believe it might have been. So now it looks like we need to actually get up here again and hopefully not fall. And then go around. Oh, shit. It's not right. Can I go this way? It looks like I can. So yeah, that was that little section. I got that gem now. Now where do I go? I don't know. That's another thing. If you come to a complete stop on these higher things, you can't actually gain momentum. You have to stop and go somewhere else. Okay, so this place is open now. It actually filled that gap in. What is this shit? Yeah. So yeah, if you can barely tell, there seems to be a little ramp in the background there. I'd point it with my mouse, but my mouse isn't doing anything. So it seems you have to ramp off of it, but not so far that you fall off. Yeah, that's Spin Dizzy Worlds. That one, it's rough, but I spent so many hours on this game. Like, I know I've actually beaten this level as a kid. Like I said, I think I've actually beaten the hard mode once, which to beat the game, you have to beat enough of the levels, not all of them, but enough of them to open up the center world and then beat that world, which is, in a hard challenge world. So it's still a little early, so I think I might pull up one or two more other games real quick. Those are the ones I had planned, though, so I gotta kind of go find a game to see. Ooh, I could do that real quick. Where was it? I was actually playing this for a few minutes before the show started. Just to kind of go back to it and see. There it is. All the nice cracked intro screens of everything. I don't know Gundam. Like, I don't know why. Like this was the standard joystick for Amiga that we were using. One button. So yeah, Shuffle Puck Cafe. Just listen to that music. I mean, they could have used the keyboard buttons or something. And then now you're inside an alien bar. So these are all your opponents you can play, actually. And you click on one, and it says, "All right, let's play a game." Shovel Puck Cafe. It's essentially, you know, air hockey. So that's essentially all this game was. The different aliens and whatnot are different skills. You know, he seems like he's probably like an average type of deal. Yeah, you can't move your slider beyond this little box area. I did notice you could do... I don't even think I knew this as a kid. But I noticed you could do... like paddle size. Things like that. You can add blockers. Which... you know, they start moving around in the middle of the screen to do stuff, so it's like having an extra opponent that works for both people. Like, see, I haven't even touched the puck yet. It's just sitting there. So yeah, you can do that and whatnot. Yeah. Let's remove. Let's put it at least down to small, if anything. So yeah, that was just this little bitty thing on the field. It's like, oh, okay. And it doesn't really move on its own, but it'll get knocked around and kind of keep that momentum. Definitely adds an interesting twist to the whole standard air hockey type stuff. I know some of the more difficult opponents also have like special moves they do, so let's go try and find one. This menu is horrible. You have to hit spacebar, then you have to right click. Yeah, new opponent. Let's try this pig dude. He looks menacing. Let's remove the blocker as well, though. No blocker. Alright. Yeah, he's much more difficult and accurate in his launches, you know. He's not very aggressive, he's just very defensive, it seems like, and it's just like, oh, okay. Enig. There we go. Got one on him. There we go. Well, he's not doing anything. I know one character that does something a little more interesting. Alright. Cause yeah, this will probably be the show after I show that off. I got a few things to do. It's been about an hour. Yeah, and she does some interesting things. Like, she's super aggressive. Even with that tiny paddle. Then there's this. Like, what the fuck? She's just like, go that way, you know. Yep. That this is one of those where it's like, oh, you want to lose, huh? Okay. Like, you have no clue which way she's going with it. And it goes to half field. It's just like, well, that's fair. Yeah. Hey, I got one on her. Yeah, you pretty much have to get that perfect angle from one corner to the other to score. Now, also, one thing to note, though, this is mouse controls I'm using. You gotta remember, when the Amiga was a thing, we didn't have optical mice. We had roll balls. Like, we had the mice that have the roller balls in the bottom and would roll 2 wheels to determine the X and Y inputs as you rolled across the mat. Now, I don't know if you haven't used those mice, they're not very good compared to optical. Like, you know, there's a reason they're no longer a thing. They would get gunk build up, the triggers would stop functioning because it was all mechanical triggers. So it's like you have this wheel triggering every time it spins, but that would wear out. You know, it was a mechanical gear basically, and it would wear out over so much use. Or it'd get gunk build up and it wouldn't register, and it was just, you know, I wouldn't have nearly as good a movement with one of those. Like, I probably would have already lost this game, which is, you know, 15 points, basically. So yeah, playing this with all the extra, that whole extra non-optical mouse thing also adds a whole nother level of what the hell's going on. A lot of games, you know, fighting with the mouse was a game itself sometimes. And she wins. But yeah, Shuffle Putt Cafe, that was an interesting, fun little time waster type of game. I think this little kid here is the easiest enemy, and I'm not sure who Biff Ranch is. Like, I'm not sure which one of these is Biff. You know, you don't know their names until you click on them. This is DC3. Oh, he's got something too. Oh, okay. Yeah. He's fairly easy, it seems. But yeah, they're all, all the different opponents have different skill levels and whatnot. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it for tonight. Um, I I do want to say it's still gonna be a few weeks, but I am going to be having a schedule change, I believe, as well as a name change to the show. Things are still up in the air. I'm thinking of just doing Way Back Retro as the show name. And I'm probably going to do a schedule change with that, and that's part of the way I'm changing the name because, I like alliteration, so I went with Way Back Wednesday Gaming because Wednesday was a free day for me. But with my new job, it's a lot more difficult to make these on Wednesday. So I'm thinking of swapping it to one of my days off instead of during the work week. And doing so would be all sorts of fun, and I don't want to sit there and keep running Way Back Wednesday, not on a Wednesday, I did it once before, but that was because I knew it was a temporary short-term measure. So I think I'm just going to rebrand, but I think I'm going to go to maybe 50 episodes, and then I'll rebrand after that. So I have a few more weeks of me doing this on Wednesdays, and the new show is still going to be pretty much exactly the same. I'm not really changing anything. It's just a slight name change and whatnot. And hopefully I have another little extra surprise with it. Nothing huge, but to me it's really nice. But we got to work on that. I got things to do to get that happening. I don't know if it will happen by then or not. But anyway, so yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Like I said, just to know that the schedule is gonna change a little bit as to when I'm live. Still be a weekly thing and whatnot. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. That's some more fun Amiga games. I'll probably having more in the future as well. Amiga was one of the big things I had as a kid that I played a lot on, and so I would like to continue showing off. There's still a ton of games in my memory that I'm just like, I don't even necessarily remember a lot of them, but I remember something about it, and I just gotta find it. And there's one game in particular that I want to find, but I can't. Like, nowhere. It is not available anywhere, and it was a free public domain game. I mean, it's short. The long play of it is only like 5 minutes. But it's just one of those games, it's like, I have to show people. So I've been looking for that pretty much since the show started. I still haven't found it. I'm going to continue looking. But otherwise, I have a bunch of Amiga games to go through still. And we might even get to the point where we just load up random ones that I don't know about. Although I'll have to be careful with that because there are some more adult games in this collection. So I might have to be a little careful about all that. But that's a whole nother thing. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. So that's going to be it. Thank you for joining me. See y'all next week.